Good afternoon and welcome to the Surrey Sports Complex. Apologies for the slight delay. Had a issue with the stats laptop here in Guildford and it just took a bit of time to find a replacement, and that is now hopefully up and running, so we are able to keep the clock winding. We've now got 2.5 minutes till tip here at the Surrey Sports Park this afternoon in WBBL Championship action. I'm Michael Hanson-Morris, joined once again by Josh Bett. Josh, Sevenoaks still undefeated. And obviously played a really close game against Nottingham last time out. How important is it that the Suns keep momentum going and try and clinch the league as soon as possible?
Well, I mean, a lot of people have said this season, can they go undefeated? But I think the biggest thing on their mind is to take it each game at a time. But the biggest thing for them, obviously, is going to be making sure they finish the season with a trophy, whether that's winning the league or the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe they can keep their undefeated roll going tonight. We'll find out. I imagine Nottingham are going to come very well ready to play tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And this game was only 3 weeks ago at the Nottingham Wildcats arena. Nottingham led at half-time. It was one of the only times all season the Sevenoaks Suns have trailed going into the half-time break, but Suns able to pull out down the stretch and came away with a relatively comfortable 12-point victory. Final score was Suns 65, Wildcats 53, and Nottingham only scoring 16 points in the second half. Sevenoaks 15-0 as we alluded to in the league, and just need 4 wins from their final 5 games to clinch the title. 2 of those, however, are against second place Leicester Riders, and that will be a game we see on Wednesday afternoon here at Surrey Sports Park. Nottingham 8-7 and well in the hunt for the 4th place finish. They'll be battling out with the Essex Rebels and the Manchester Met Mystics down the stretch. Team news for this afternoon: Sevenoaks not quite at full strength. Asha Andrews unavailable this afternoon, so she will not be available for coach Len Busch, but he has everyone else to be able to call from. So Josh, we saw Kat Carr last time she was at the sports park. Just remind people that didn't maybe see that game how she changed the game in the second half, having that slow start initially. Yeah,
I mean, it was one of those games where, you know, I think when you're undefeated, it's very tough to play 100% every time and to have one of those days where everything is dropping from the field. And, you know, it only took a third quarter for Kat Carr to get things going. Remember, I said it was the difference between a good player and a great player. A great player, at some point they're going to find that rhythm. And for the Nottingham Wildcats, I'm pretty sure they've had on the scout report all week T. Clark, Kat Carr, along with Renee Bush and Lavinia De Silva. So they'll definitely be coming into this game very well prepared. But remember, it's a game with one of those where Kat Carr gets off to a good run, she gets a rhythm going. It could be a very, very tough game for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and you can see the Wildcats roster there on the screen. Siobhan Price still absent for the Wildcats, and a late blow last night in practice. Tia Freeman hurt her hand pretty much on the last play of practice, and Tia was most likely to start, so KENRICK LIBURD having to change up the starting 5 a little bit, and they will assess the damage on Tia as time develops. So starting for the Wildcats, looks like it will be 15 Shania Rose, the youngster, to step into that starting 5 role, along with Simone Costa, Moa Lundqvist, Praise Egbereva and Chelsea Schumpert. As for the Suns, it looks like it's going to be their normal starting 5, so Kat Carr, Tiani Clark, Irene Garrido Perez, Lavinia De Silva and Renee Busch. Busy afternoon of WBBL Championship action. Already had a few results this afternoon. We'll get to those over the course of the afternoon, as Kat Carr just remembers that we need to turn the music off to play basketball.
It's always handy when your players know every part of the basketball court, even if that means the music needs to be turned up. But right now we're going to take a knee for the fight against social injustice.
And we are about ready to get underway. It'll be Praise Egbereva and Lavinia De Silva to jump out. Ball won by the Wildcats, and it'll be Simone Costa looking to go early, and she has to back out. Nottingham will go into the half-court set. Lundqvist in the high post had a strong performance on Tuesday against the Oakland Wolves. Lundqvist and Egbereva really dominated that game for the Wildcats inside, but Lundqvist turns it over there, and it'll be Sevenoaks looking for Renee Busch on the skip. Early in transition, Garrido Perez rolls out, and she's able to get the free to go. And Josh, how nice is it for Sevenoaks to get Garrido Perez going early here and establish the perimeter game, as well as the inside.
Well, it starts with Renee Bush. Renee Bush got the ball on the side, made a quick penetration, drew 2 defenders, and that's what led to a wide open Perez on the perimeter. She's been making those shots in the warm-up, looking very confident in her perimeter shooting.
Yeah, and Chelsea Shumpert again back to the right hand, gets the float to go. Shumpert, the leading scorer for the Wildcats, averaging over 20 points a game as Carr drives in. Good defense by Rose, may have even got a touch on it. And Nottingham out in transition. We've got 5 on 3. Costa's going to pull up from the elbow, in and out, but offensive rebound, Moa Lundqvist. And that was just with Nottingham having numbers down the floor. And Shumpert, can she find the open Rose? She does. Right wing 3 for Shania Rose. Up, off the glass and in. And the youngster, big impact off the bench. And Josh, Saturday afternoon.
Well,
the
again,
bank is definitely open.
The bank was open. Whether she called it, I'm not quite sure. But again, the Suns' defense had collapsed right there. Another penetration to kick out to a wide-open shooter. But no, one thing for the Wildcats you can see right now, very aggressive on the rebounds. And that's something teams haven't been able to match up with the Sevenoaks Suns so far this year. As
Bush pull-up rims in and out. Costa's going to find Shumpert. And again, Nottingham looking to transition. Rose wide open on the right side. And Shumpert, unusually for her, just can't find her. Now she'll feed the ball into the elbow. We'll see a lot of this from the Wildcats as Lundqvist again tries to drive. And Tiani Clark with the help side defense forced to steal, and now it's the Suns' turn to run. This time Rose out, and Josh end-to-end turnovers. Costa gets the contact from Renee Bush, gets it to go. And right now, Sevenoaks Suns not on the pace of the Nottingham Wildcats in transition.
Well, Costa's looked very dangerous in transition. You saw in the previous play she pulled up for a shot from the free throw line, but that's because she had no wide runners with her. But in that case, much, much better. She took one dribble, made a bit of contact with Renee Bush, and went up, and now she's going to go to the free throw line for a 3-point play.
But do not count on the Nottingham Wildcats to make free throws. It's something I was talking with Coach Kevin LIBURD after the game on Tuesday about free throw percentage. Nottingham worst in the league at 63.5% going into that game. Then they shot 4 of 14 on Tuesday night at home. And Simone Costa, right on cue, cannot get the first to go and really not even close on that. So it's certainly an area Nottingham will try and tighten up as this season goes down to stretch, but they have started off well and lead by 4. Tiani Clark was briefly open, but ball now eventually does find her. And Egbereva and De Silva playing a very physical battle, same thing that we saw in Nottingham 3 weeks ago. Carr 4 on the shot clock, nowhere to go, is going to have to go back to the turnaround. And just a tough look by Kat Carr, but able to get it to go.
Again, difference between a good player and a great player. It's something out of nothing. The shot clock was going down, nobody to pass to, had to pivot and make a fadeaway. Only Kat Carr can make those shots.
Shania Rose gets the ball swing, is going to kick it back to Simone Costa. Simone Costa's really come on down the stretch of this season and starting to score a lot more for the Wildcats in the absence of Jasmine Joyner. But Egbereva there trying to get the deep seal, called for the 3-second violation.
That's tough because I felt De Silva was in the same situation down this end. And I think whether it's a 3 seconds or not, they've got to make sure that's balanced out because for me that was good post play.
Yeah, Nottingham really trying to play more and more inside, and teams thought they might go away from that with Joyner out, but Nottingham instead, if not feeding it even more, as De Silva ties this game up at 7, the 15-foot jumper. And Lavinia De Silva a little bit inconsistent at times this year. She'll be glad to see her first shot go as Shumpert's given room, will pull up the 3. Just a little long for Chelsea Shumpert on this occasion. It'll be Kat Carr to lead the break. And again, Wildcats not really able to match up in transition. Rennie Bush open, but she has to back it out. And the Suns will work once again in the half court. Tiani Clark, see De Silva, same thing. In the lane, Tiani Clark goes to the layup, can't get it go, looking for contact. And Nottingham again looking to be aggressive. Shumpert feeds the ball ahead. Costa's going to get into the lane and get it to go. And Simone Costa, early aggression here in transition.
Well, she looks dangerous every time she's got the basketball. Again, she's got a nice little pull-up jump shot there. And now you see on the defense, it's getting quite physical between Costa and Tiani Clark. And right now, we're going to see a very tight matchup between these two.
As Kat Carr able to dish and find the open Renee Bush in the corner. Nottingham really, one person you don't want to help off the strong side and from is Renee Bush, and just a little error there, and Renee's able to capitalise and give the Suns really their first lead in a while as Shumpert drives to the hoop and she will get contact. Foul on 22, Kat Carr, and Chelsea Shumpert to the line for 2.
Well, that was a smart play there by Shumpert because you can see she went on a little hesitation there, saw the gap and made the penetration. Again, if the Wildcats can keep getting to the free throw line in this game, it can cause a lot of problems for the Sevenoaks Suns.
And checking in for the first time this afternoon, Janice Monacana for Sevenoaks. She'll take out Renee Bush, so just a little bit confusion on the Suns sideline side. Hopefully Renee is okay and she's not picked up a little niggle. And it'll be Chelsea Shumpert to the line for 2. Chelsea able to connect on the first. And on the second puts the Wildcats back into lead, just 4 minutes gone. And see if the Suns can respond once again. High scoring early on here at the Surrey Sports Park as Kat Carr gets the ball in the post, given the baseline. But Simone Costa able to recover, kicks out Monicana, 3 up and good. And Janice Monicana is having a great season from downtown. She's now leading for the Suns in 3-point percentage, which probably with Renee Bush on the team is a surprise, but Janice Monicana nearly at 45%. And she's able to get the first to go and an immediate impact off the bench as now Wildcats again looking to go inside. Edgareva all the way to the other side of the rim, can't get it to go, and Lavinia De Silva for the rebound, but really a decent look for the German youngster. And Nottingham again out in falling asleep in transition. Monicana lost the handle but keeps it alive, and Lavinia De Silva, second time in a row, gets the 15-foot jumper to go. And Sevenoaks Suns with 15 points on the board halfway through this first quarter. As Costa's going to pull up for the 3 and drain it. Simone Costa, 7 points personal early on. And the University of Georgia graduate.
Well, that's going to do their confidence a lot of help right now, because you can see the Sevenoaks Suns have come out like a house on fire, making a lot of perimeter shots. And I think with the Wildcats have been playing very physical on defense, man-to-man, but it's been the perimeter shooting from the Suns that's caused them a lot of problems. And right now we've got a timeout because both teams really need to try and settle themselves down a bit here in the last few minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, and I have no doubt whatsoever Coach KENRICK LIBURD will be talking about defense right now. It's been the identity he's wanted to improve with his team the whole year. He wanted them to be more of a defensive team all season, and to give up 17 points in 5.5 minutes is not their style. Sevenoaks really struggled to score at the Nottingham Wildcats back in the early part of April. Highest scoring quarter on that occasion for the Suns was 18 points, and to give up 17 in 5.5 minutes is certainly going to be the area he's looking at. And really that time it's offensive rebounding was the issue, and that's going to be a really important factor. As you see already, Nottingham trying to crash the glass with the 2 bigs inside, and you already mentioned, Josh, how good the Sevenoaks have been on the glass, and despite being a little bit undersized.
Yeah, I think the size is going to be a decent matchup in this game. They're going to have problems with Monicana and, of course, with Lavinia De Silva. But, again, the big thing for them is making sure that they control the rebounds. If they can out-rebound Sevenoaks in this game, they can give themselves a chance. Because team after team come here to Surrey Sports Park, and they find the physicality of the Sevenoaks Suns a problem to match up with.
Yeah, and really it was the other way around on Tuesday. I was obviously at the Wildcats game, and Wildcats just bullied Oakland's Wolves. There was no 2 ways about it. Coach Lee Ryman's almost first thing he said in the post-game was how physical Nottingham were, and Oakland's never got to that intensity. And the stat that really stood out for me, midway through the third quarter, Oakland's Wolves 12 defensive rebounds, Nottingham Wildcats 12 offensive rebounds. And anytime you can basically half the glass as an offensive side, you're going to give yourselves opportunities as both teams out. No changes so far for the Wildcats. Obviously missing Tia Freeman and Siobhan Pryor. It's a big part of their rotation. We'll probably see Mariam Olawayan first in off the bench. And the Suns still with the starting 5 on, and obviously Monicano came on for Renee Bush. And we'll see what Coach KENRICK LIBURD was looking for in that timeout. Shumpert able to reject the screen and get the 15-foot pull-up to go, and Chelsea Shumpert so aggressive, rejecting the ball screen and get to her right hand, and not someone you can leave open. Former leading scorer. And Sevenoaks now into one of their more regular sets, see what they can do. Can't find anything on the post-up, but Kat Carr this time trying to answer, and not someone really you can afford to go under the screen right there, Josh. Nottingham a little lucky.
That's what I felt. I mean, you cannot give Kat Carr any time and space. You can't go under the screen. You've got to chase it and hope that the person helps like and step over. But at that point, there's a shot that Kat Carr 9 times out of 10 she's going to hit down.
Costa now looking at Egbereva, tries to slip the screen, but Monicana in the passing lane. She's going to go aggressive to the hoop. Layup just a little too strong for Janice Monicana, and Chelsea Shumpert's going to take no time at all to try and race down the other end. Step back 3 from Shumpert, up, looks good from angle, but off a little bit, but Shania Rose in for the weak side rebound. And ball back into the hands of Shumpert. 7 on the shot clock, splits the screen, finds the open Shania Rose, corner 3 up, a little short. And again, Nottingham nearly with an offensive rebound, but Chelsea Shumpert all action right now. This time the pull-up three up and a little long, but oh, we nearly saw a highlight, Josh.
Well, the way she split the screen there down the middle was spectacular. The kick out, I mean, it was unfortunate they didn't make the shot, but Shumpert's causing a lot of problems. She's very quick. She's very tough shot there by Monicana, obviously. But Monicana's now come out and hit 2 3-pointers. That's a big play now for the Sevenoaks Suns. Sorry, that was a 2-pointer.
Yeah, long two. So Suns 3-point lead here at the Surrey Sports Park. Janice Monicana up to 5 points personal. Still haven't got access to live stats, so the only thing we'll be able to tell you properly is points, which is fine, as Costa looks to go to double digits. Her three is off. Another fight for the rebound. This time Tiani Clark pulls it down, and it'll be Kat Carr to try and get away. Uses Monicana almost as a little moving screen. Just smart play by Kat Carr to see the traffic in the middle of the floor, and she gets an open jumper, and she will not miss it at the second time.
If she beats you on the screen, somebody has to step up and take it. You cannot give Kat Carr any time or space. She's going to knock those shots down. And
Chelsea Shumpert, another person you don't want to give time and space to, again rejecting that screen, getting to the rim, but this time blows the layup. And now Janice Monicana in the corner finds the silver high post. Kat Carr, again, room nearly the same spot, and an aggressive rebound pulled down by the silver, out-battled Ekpereva that time. And Monicana driving, nowhere to go, ball deflected away, and Nottingham will come up with possession, and for the first time, Wildcats will go to the bench. Indeed, it is Mariam Olawayan checking in along with Chloe Gaynor. And out will come their two youngsters, Praise Ekpereva and Shania Rose. And just under 1:40 to go, so a real long stretch for the Nottingham starters. Look like both players are a little bit visibly tired, and you can see that Nottingham really trying to push the pace. You probably expect the rotation to come as Nottingham trying to free up Shumpert. It's going to have a little bit of room, get to the middle of the floor, and just a little long this time, but Chelsea Shumpert getting looks she will normally knock down. This time Lundqvist jumper off. Simone Costa offensive rebound, and Lavinia De Silva will commit the foul, and really the battle is on the rebounds, and certainly the matchup with Ekpereva and De Silva won this time, but can't win it the other end.
Well, I mean, it's a great offensive rebound by Costa, of course, and going up now she's going to the free throw line. But going back to Shumpert, if you just watch how Shumpert plays off the ball, how she tries to get open, how she uses the screen. I mean, she's missed her last 3 shots, but they've been very, very good shots. At some point, she's going to start knocking these down, but again, great way for them to stay in this game, to go off those offensive rebounds as Costa's at the free throw line. Yeah, Chelsea Shumpert's last 2 performances have been certainly quiet by her standards, but still averaging 19.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists, as Simone Costa able to knock down both at the line. A couple of changes for the Suns as well. Renee Bush and Katrin Holm into lineup. It's Janice Monicana and Lavinia De Silva playing on the bench as Tiani Clark able to get the little turnaround to go, and super deep position by Tiani Clark on the drive, and really just an open 5-foot jumper in the end. Yeah, she did very well to make the penetration, but then again, she pivoted around with the reverse outside pivot, just kissed that one off the glass. And you expect that from T. Clark. I mean, she's got a nice shot. As Chloe Gaynor to Simone Costa gets deep in the lane, she's going to kick out Olawayan, corner 3, in and out. And Kat Carr with a strong defensive rebound, and now it's the Suns' turn to push in transition. Carr to Renee Bush, but not even able to just about get back. But this will be a matchup Kat Carr likes. Got the bigger Mora Lundqvist on her. Gives it to Tiani Clark, who was open. Has got the baseline to drive. Good defense by Costa. And she forces Tiani Clark to step on the baseline. And Nottingham will be able to hold for the final shot of this first quarter. Sevenoaks leading by 5. Nottingham will have the chance to make this a 1-possession game going into the first quarter break. I'd run this down pick and roll here for Shumpert, last player of the quarter. Looks like they're going to go otherwise. Yeah, Simone Costa, they're trying to look to see if they can get Shumpert back on something, but it's Costa and Lundqvist. Simone Costa, who's got the hot hand, pulls up for the 3, contested rebound, Gaynor, and she does not go up to beat the buzzer. And that will do for the first quarter. Sevenoaks 23, Nottingham Wildcats 18. And Josh, really, Sevenoaks have settled after that slow start and managed to force the Nottingham Wildcats into more of a half-court game. And just talk about the importance of that for this team to get their defense set. Yeah, I mean, you can see the way Nottingham play. They're a very, very high-tempo transition team, of course, with the likes of Shumpert and, of course, Costa as well. And Sevenoaks, they've tried to frustrate them, slow their tempo down, get them into that half court. One thing about the Wildcats I've noticed is that it's a lot of isolation basketball at the moment. Also trying to get Shumpert wide open on the perimeter. They need to go to a little bit more pick and roll, get other players involved, try and make the defense move. Because right now you can see with Sevenoaks, everyone's just waiting for a shot to go up, get the rebound, and then they want to get in transition. You've got to make the defense shift a little bit more.
Indeed, and for Nottingham, kind of gone away from the inside game that they tried to establish in a couple of minutes. Obviously, the bigs have done a great job on the glass, but what have you seen from the backcourt of Costa and Shumpert to try and lead this team? Combined 13 points in that first quarter.
Oh, they're fantastic. I mean, Costa's very, very lethal in transition. You can see that she can shoot the ball a little bit from the perimeter. She's very, very good at that hesitation move, trying to make those penetrations and split the defense down. But for me right now, Shumpert, it's just how well she moves when she doesn't have the ball in her hands. She reads screens. She knows how to get open. She's been taking some good shots. She just hasn't been able to knock them down so much. But, like I say, is she one of those players? There's a difference between a good player and a great player. Is she going to get that rhythm in the game, as we saw with Kat Carr last week in the game against Caledonia Pride?
Yeah, and just a little warning for those of you that want to look at the stats. There was a slight laptop issue, so the stats you'll see, just to get everything up to date on the system, is all the points in the first quarter have gone to Renee Bush, and all the points for Nottingham have gone to Praise Eggbrever. So do not worry about the points; they will be adjusted after the game, and we will be able to bring you some scorers. So when you do look at the live stats link, just bear that in mind, as it will be Sevenoaks Suns first out onto court for the second quarter, with Renee Bush, Katrin Holm, Tiani Clark, Kat Carr, and Irene Garrido-Perez. We'll see who Nottingham come out with. Sevenoaks are back in action tomorrow as well. They will head over to the Essex Sports Arena once again, this time for their official away game, having played their home game against Essex at the Essex Sports Park. They'll head back over there tomorrow and try and notch up another win before the big game on Wednesday afternoon against the Leicester Riders. And Nottingham finally onto court. It will be Olawayan, Shumpert, Costa, Gaynor, and Lundqvist for the Wildcats. They are also in action on Wednesday night, going to Wales, and they'll face the Cardiff Met Archers for a home doubleheader next weekend. And it'll be Tiani Clark to get us underway in this second quarter. Suns overloading this side of the floor and now clearing out, so Carr able to back down. Can't find anything, but she finds Bush. Contested free, looks a little short, and indeed it is. Good defense by Shumpert, and Rennie Bush unable to make her second triple of the afternoon. And Wildcats able to get the stop early on.
Let's go back to what you said there. Shumpert didn't overhelp there because she knew she was defending Renee Bush. She knew the ball was going to get kicked out to her. It did just enough to put a hand up and contest her into a poor shot.
Yeah, and now Wildcats trying to find Shumpert on the flare screen, gets his second chance, and now the ball into Lundqvist. Turnaround jump shot from her. Lundqvist off, but another fight for the rebound. Lundqvist on her knees and it controlled possession, so threw it back to try and retain possession, but Simone Costa gone back for defense transition, unable to.
That's a tough one, because when she caught it, she'd realised she jumped into the backcourt, bless her.
And couldn't get back, so, but again, great hustle by Mora Lundqvist, who's certainly been a big addition to his Wildcats roster out of the University of San Francisco. And she will be one to keep an eye on as this game develops. As Tiani Clark tries to get into the lane, Olawayan able to manage to get in front, but Tiani Clark able to pull down her own miss. And Kat Carr will reset possession for the Suns. Holm on the flare screen, going to drive past Gaynor. And Simone Costa late on the rotation. She will foul Katrin Holm. And Holm to the line at 4-2.
Again, great ball movement by the Sevenoaks Suns. They tried to go for a quick option, didn't get it. They kicked out, good ball reversal, dribble handoff, and in the end, once it rewarded with 2 free throws now for Holm.
Yeah, and forced Wildcats into a couple of changes. Simone Costa and Mora Lundqvist taking a break along with Chloe Gaynor. So Wildcats now going a little bit smaller, will slide probably Shania Rose to the 4 with this grouping. And certainly some inexperience on the court for the Wildcats, with 4 under-19s now on the court at the same time. But it's been a staple of KENRICK LIBURD's time at the Wildcats, trying to give the junior players even more opportunities, as Holm able to knock them both down, and she will take a break after that with Lavinia De Silva checking back in.
It's interesting you said now, because now the Sevenoaks Suns have gone Imagine they're going to go with Lavinia De Silva now at the 5, but it's still a big lineup if you think of the position that Kat Carr plays. Because for me, not only is she a perimeter player, but she can also guard players within the low block. And if she sees a mismatch, she's not afraid to take it into the low post and back down those players.
Yeah, and I think a little bit matchup perhaps there with Len Bush with Egg checking back in, get the bigger body of De Silva in there. As Wildcats really got nowhere to go. Shumpert's going to have to put it up to beat the buzzer. Long three, just a little short and did not catch the rim. But really good defense by the Suns forced the Wildcats to pick the dribble up, and when you're catching the ball just inside your own halfway line with 3 seconds to go,
yeah, it's a tough one.
Not a lot Shumpert can do, and you can hear the Wildcats assistant coach there, led by Karen Button, just shouting at presumably Bareva that she's got to do a better job of keeping the dribble alive and not put a guard in an impossible situation. Suns working with their biggest lead of the game at 7. Unable to get the great look to go. Tiani Clark on the elbow. The Suns starting to open this game up on the offensive end with cuts, and they're really going to try and key in on Shumpert, and there Tiani Clark forces the travel on the closeout.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play, of course. It looked like it was going to be an isolation play for Kat Carr, but once she realized there was nowhere to go, who came curling around the screen? Tiani Clark. Good shot. Unable to knock that one down, though. But again, beautiful offense as usual by the Sevenoaks Suns.
Indeed, and Suns again trying to establish themselves out of the horn set. This time De Silva gives it off to the strong side to Tiani Clark. Rennie Bush going to get deep, take the little pull-up from just outside the lane, and right now Sevenoaks pretty much getting whatever they want with jumpers. It's just, can they make the open shots? And Nottingham really struggling to contain as Olawine tries to feed the ball inside, but Bush and De Silva there between them to basically double-team Egg River before she even caught the ball. And this game's starting to escape the Wildcats just a little bit as Suns really putting the dominance in. Another wide open look. Tiani Clark's free, a little long, but Kat Carr uncontested rebound, put back. And the Sevenoaks Suns now into the double-digit lead.
This is why Sevenoaks are undefeated. Defensive stop there comes from a hand deflection, of course, from Renee Bush when they try to make a post pass. They get out on the break, they try to go for a quick option. Nothing's there. Slow it down, get to the half court. But then again, who was boxing out Kat Carr? Somebody has, this is what I talk about, you have to take care of the rebounds against Sevenoaks Suns. And
Jerome are now double-teamed after driving, avoids the 5-second violation. Shumpert in a near impossible situation, going to put something up and bank it in. And Chelsea Shumpert, known for making tough shots, bails the team out of another possession. And immediately KENRICK LIBURD's responding. He's got his 2 seniors in Simone Costa and Moira Lundqvist at the table once again. And right now, Wildcats trying to hold on as the ball deflected off Kat Carr's knee and into the back court. She's unable to save it. And now Nottingham going into the bench with Lundqvist and Costa. Also Monicano back in for Renee Bush for the Suns. So Janice Monicano and Renee Bush right now seem to be interchanging almost. And don't know if you caught it there, just Renee Bush with something up her nose. I wonder if she's had a little bit of a nosebleed. That's why she came out earlier than expected in that first quarter. Something we'll try and keep an eye on.
She had that during the warm-up, I believe. I could be wrong, but going back to the last shot by Shumpert, a fantastic shot going at the end of the shot clock. But Sevenoaks will live with those shots all day. Because right now, Wildcats are having to work for every single shot attempt. They've got to make life easy for themselves. They've got to settle down, play a bit more patient. But right now, it's just no fluidity in their offense at the moment.
And they're trying to feed the ball inside, but the double team came and all collapsed, and Egg River unable to beat the shot clock buzzer. So Nottingham just with the 2 points in the opening 3.5 minutes of this second quarter, and Suns unable to connect as they look to establish the high-low. And another turnover for the Suns. So both teams struggling to look after the ball in the last couple of minutes, but Sevenoaks defense really putting the blocks down. Shumpert now again looked like Wildcats were trying to establish the post. Monicano this time denial on Lundqvist, and Shumpert forced to keep the ball alive. Now finds Lundqvist in from the foul line. Her jumper a little short, but another long rebound. Shumpert basically a catch and shoot free, rebounded by Lundqvist, and Nottingham now starting to establish themselves once again on the offensive glass. And Moira Lundqvist with her first points of the afternoon to cut this gap to 7.
Well, that's much better there. You can see, as we mentioned, they're struggling to get good shots on the offense. Just going in for those offensive rebounds, a second chance, things that can keep them in this game. 7-point deficit at the moment.
Garrido Perez thought about the free, cut off by Jeromo, who had checked in for the first time a couple of minutes ago. Monicano has to go to an underhand scoop shot to beat the shot clock. Chelsea Shumpert gets the board and she's able to run, finds Costa, right wing free up long, but no one on the opposite side of the floor for the Suns. So Jeromo with an easy rebound, but she travels, but really Nottingham able to push in transition and get the Suns defense to collapse. And again, Nottingham just dominating the offensive glass, and really for the Suns uncharacteristic to have all 5 defensive players on one side of the floor.
Well, that last play there, that's the exact kind of game Nottingham want to play. They want to play in transition, but again, they've got to make the most of their bread and butter, because if they're not careful enough, this 7-point deficit could go to double digits by the time we get to the first half, the end of the first half, excuse me.
Yeah, and Sevenoaks, if they can make a 3, will get it back to double digits, but see if they can go. Kat Carr decides to not come off the stagger. Now gets the ball, nearly stolen by Costa. Carr, deep 3 to beat the shot clock, in and out. And Kat Carr can knock it down from that range, but it's not really her bread and butter. That is from Chelsea Shumpert, but her pull-up unable to go. And Kat Carr with another strong defensive rebound. And she will find Garrido Perez, trying to find Monacana on the slip. Evades to help, and Janice Monacana able to lay it home for 2. And she's up to 7 points personal. And Nottingham Wildcats trying to be aggressive in the passing range, but right now not coming up with those steals. As Egbereva and De Silva battling for position. De Silva just almost pulled the chair on Egbereva, and Jeromo drives and gets the layup to go. Strong move by the youngster.
That's better there. You can see a penetration there, making the defense collapse and not just settling for those perimeter shots. Much, much better play there from Nottingham.
And now Kat Carr able to get the ball. Initially, Nottingham were trying to reject it in the full court. A little bit of pressure and force Sevenoaks into something else, but Garrido Perez wide open as Wildcats go under the screen. That 3 unable to go, and Costa's going to push.
This is where they need to push, make the most of it. It's got to go all the way.
No one stops the ball.
Foul there.
Yeah, definite foul, but
definite foul.
But Monacana gets away with it. Lundqvist unable to get the putback to go, and she screams her frustration. And Sevenoaks get away with 1, not stopping the ball in transition. The cardinal sin, as Monacana going to line up the 3. That unable to go. De Silva and Egbereva again in a battle. This time Lavinia De Silva with it, and she will come up and in fact slip the pin down screen. Now Tiani Clark from the able to get the jumper to go.
That's just too easy there. You got to put a lot more pressure, because you know one thing, Tiani Clark's a 1 player. She's a high percentage shooter from the mid-range. She doesn't set up a lot of perimeter shots, but you just can't make it that easy for her. You got to put a hand up, contest it, do something. And
Lundqvist again struggling from the floor and able to get the jumper to go on the switch, but Nottingham is still getting looks they want. And now Carr matched up with Jeromo, fakes, finds the cut, and Garrido Perez leads the layup short. And now Nottingham again able to go. Lundqvist finds Shumpert. She is out in transition, gets the contact from Tiani Clark. Can't get the layup to drop, but Chelsea Shumpert back to the line, and yet again Nottingham able to push out in transition.
Again, that's much better play there, because you can see Shumpert in the last few possessions in transition. She's had to give the ball up because there's been 1-2 players on her, possibly more. That point, saw the open court, made a bit of contact, and now she's back at the free throw line. Again, just simple ways are going to help Nottingham get back into this game. They can't afford for this to be a double-digit deficit going into the second half.
Indeed, and Chelsea Shumpert will go back to the line, and she's able to make the first. Shumpert, obviously in her 3rd year with the Wildcats, 77% free throw shooter on the season. And yet again, 2 for 2, so Wildcats may, after missing the first free throw, may have sorted out their free throw struggles. And they'll be looking for a strong 2.5 minutes to lead into the halftime break, as Carr out to take the pull-up. Looked like a little bit of contact. She asked for the foul, wasn't coming from the referees. But Kat Carr's jumper good, and she's the first player into double digits this afternoon, up to 10 points personal.
Oh, she's got every right to say there was a foul. There was clear contact on her hand when she shot that.
But at least the referee's being consistent after the one at the other end in transition, as Simone Costa's face-up unable to go. Wildcats really struggling on their jump shooting right now. Feeling like a lot of those mid-range jumpers just in and out, and Shania Rose with the reaching on Kat Carr. And she will commit her first personal foul of the game, 2nd team foul on the Wildcats this quarter. And really, we've not had many fouls, in fact, in the entire first half, so something the referees will kind of let both teams play. As again, Sevenoaks this time get the switch. Carr trying to find the skip pass to Renee Bush, but Simone Costa able to get away and knock it out of bounds with 8 on the shot clock. And a little bit of a tough situation to inbound the ball right on the corner between the baseline and the sideline. And you can see Tiani Clark just trying to shuffle her feet and get that extra set of room, because they certainly don't have many plays drawn up, and Monicano able to get to that left hand. And she's able to find Lavinia De Silva wide open on, as Nottingham rotated, but really that started all from the Monicano drive, and heads up play to find the open De Silva. Now as Gaynor forced to put the ball on the floor, trying to find Shumpert on the back cut, and Tiani Clark with the reach in, and probably a little bit of a veteran foul. She knew Cheryl Shumpert had got in front of her, and if not, she was going to get an open layup, and that will see Tiani Clark check out of the game. That is her second personal, so Len Bush deciding to protect from that third foul going into the break, and Garrido Perez back into the games. Wildcats will have the end line ball, and they will see what they can do. Lundqvist and Gaynor looking to set up a little action there. Simone Costa gets into the middle, mid-range pull-up again, unable to drop for the Wildcats.
Well, that was a good play there between Costa and Gaynor, but Gaynor's got to roll to the basket off that screen. As Costa was waiting for her just to get to the basket, have that option to pass to.
Yeah, it was a long two by Garrido Perez. Rebound pulled in by De Silva, and Renee Bush this time from the perimeter, able to knock it down. Second triple of the afternoon for Renee Bush. And Sevenoaks really starting to put a stronger hold of the game, up to a 14-point lead. Shumpert on the other end replies, and again, just someone you can't leave open, and Suns again just switching off ever so slightly, and show Shumpert someone that will make you pay. She's up to 11 points personal, leading scorer in the game. And the Wildcats bench again looking to get a stop, and Kat Carr just slid her pivot foot ever so slightly, will get called for the travel. And KENRICK LIBURD with 38 seconds to go will call his second timeout of the half. Perhaps a chance to drop a 2-for-1 play. Is it timeout or sub? We'll see.
I thought you indicated timeout.
It looks like he had a sub at the table as well, and indeed will be a timeout. So second timeout of the half.
Well, if they're going to go 2-for-1 right now, this is what they need to do. You need to put the ball in the hands of either Costa or Shumpert and quickly attack, regardless, if you're going to go 2-for-1. If not, you need to slow it down. But again, if they do go for that quick option, then they got to get defensive stop and then possibly they have the last shot. But the thing right now for the Wildcats is I think the transition game isn't working as well as they would have liked to have done. They do need to slow it down a little bit and get into a bit more of a pick and roll sequence here in the half court. I mean, they've got some great players on the team. Yeah,
they do, and normally KENRICK LIBURD likes to put the ball in the hands of Chelsea Shumpert. We'll see what he's drawing up. And Josh, talk about just the difference between a live ball turnover and a dead ball turnover as well, because they're another Sevenoaks turnover, but really this one a lot less costly in a sense of now able to get back and set the defense.
I think live ball turnover, well, the dead ball turnover I think is much better for the Sevenoaks Suns, because you can see the Wildcats, anytime they do come up with a loose ball, a steal or a missed shot, boom, they're gone right away. So I'm just thinking here a dead ball situation, as you mentioned, going for that 2-for-1 option, they got to go quickly. They got to go with either Shumpert or Costa, because as we've seen in the half court, they rush a lot of shots. It's a lot of isolation play, whereas if you look at the way the Sevenoaks Suns play, everybody touches the ball before they get a shot. It's a very, very disciplined offense.
Indeed, and Wildcats coming back onto courts. Both teams look like they're going to stay with the same 5. So it'll be Shania Rose to jog back down, and she'll inbound the ball. Shumpert's off the ball, so we'll see. It looks like potentially an option of maybe a pin down. We'll see. And Sevenoaks trying to blow it with the double team on Costa, and that might just be the couple of seconds they can buy to avoid Wildcats going for 2-for-1. Indeed, Shumpert trying to come off screens on the baseline. Kind of does a figure of 8, and now she catches the ball right wing, working on Carr. Pull up blocked by Kat Carr, and Suns able to get a stop. They were no doubt talking about in the timeout, and shot clock is off, so we'll see if they pull it out. But Simone Costa strips it away from Garrido Perez. She will have the floor and lays it home for 2, and gives Sevenoaks 6 seconds. Nottingham in a full court press to try and deny it.
All the way
To Silva to Carr. She has to fake it, takes the pull-up on the buzz and gets it to go. Kat Carr with a big pull-up jumper just to extend the lead into double digits. And Sevenoaks able to navigate that press successfully. And as we head into half-time with the Sevenoaks Suns leading 42-38, just your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I mean, as expected, of course, Nottingham Wildcats have some very, very talented individual players at the moment. We can see how well they like to play in transition, but at the moment they're going to have to go. They're up against the best, the only team that's undefeated here in the WBBL, a team that we know can push in transition, but they take the right shot. Remember, I've said this in the last 2 games. It's the difference between a good team and a great team. Sevenoaks Suns will never, never go or play beyond themselves. They'll always play for each other, and they'll always take the wide open look. And a few offenses ago, I think it was Monicano who had the ball. She made a quick penetration, saw the double team came up, dished it to a wide open Lavinia De Silva. And again, it's just that continuity, that synergy between these players is the reason why they are undefeated.
Yeah, and I think Nottingham will be, in a way, slightly content. They've had some good looks. They've just not made open, especially from the mid-range is really where they've struggled. But you can certainly see how this there's the path for Nottingham to come back in the second half if they can start making some at the rim and some of those wide open mid-range jumpers. Oh,
absolutely. I mean, look, Nottingham are a very, very good team. They have a very talented backcourt. They have some good inside players. The problem for them right now is they're struggling to have an inside presence at the moment. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, assert the position in the low block. I mean, Lundqvist has had some good looks. She's missed some shots, but she's got to keep shooting the ball. Remember, I said it's the difference between a good player and a great player. A great player will keep on shooting, and a great player will find that rhythm.
And we will take a break here at the Surrey Sports Park for half-time. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for second half action. Half-time score, Sevenoaks 42, Nottingham 31.
It's a hard question. Just trying to get my parents out the house as quickly as I could because I wanted to meet my new flatmate.
Our biochemistry teacher made us do the Mexican way.
Oh my, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. The moment I stepped out of the bus,
I remember myself looking at the stack and then looking at my dad saying, that's where I want to be.
I didn't realise I lived opposite the library because the uni is that big.
It's actually very, very green. I mean, coming from Dubai, there's a lot of sand everywhere. It was just a great atmosphere.
It was full of people.
Seeing all the freshers angels. My lecturer showed up, great guy.
She's doing entertainment and lecturing at the same time.
The amount of sports and facilities that they have.
And get involved in so many societies.
Pakistani society.
The Hispanic Society.
The colour run.
I played pool for about 9 hours.
Somali society, which is basically my culture.
The Surf Society.
My singing, that's something that I'm really, really passionate about.
It's like a lot of creativeness happening around the university.
Nurturing.
Vibrant.
Diverse.
It's because of the people I met.
Friendly.
Welcoming.
Inspiring.
If universities were people, Surrey would stand out, definitely. It'd be that kid wearing the weird socks or something.
Moments
That matter.
At University
of Surrey.
Sorry.
Surrey!
Surrey.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry! Come here.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Surrey Sports Park, where we're just about to get underway for the second half. Sevenoaks Suns 42, Nottingham Wildcats 31 at the break. Kat Carr, the leading scorer with 12 points personal. Simone Costa and Chelsea Shumpert both with 11 for the Wildcats. Michael Hanson-Morris here with Josh Bett this afternoon. And Josh, we were talking going into the break about missed opportunities for Nottingham, certainly with the jump shots. What do you see from the Wildcats on the defensive end to give up 42 points?
Well, again, it's just been down to the ball movement of the Sevenoaks Suns. You know, you cannot help side too much against a team such as Sevenoaks Suns because they got too many perimeter shooters. Garrido Perez, Renee Bush, Kat Carr, Tiani Clark as well. But the thing is, I feel right now that the Wildcats need to do is they need to slow the tempo down, get into the half court a little bit more. I know this is not the traditional way they play. They do like to play high-tempo basketball, but they're getting good shots, as we mentioned, but they've got to knock them down. If it's not working in transition because you're playing against a very good defensively transition team in the Sevenoaks Suns, you got to go to something else. More offensive rebounds, try and get back in the game, because if it gets any bigger than this, it's going to be a mountain to climb going into the fourth quarter.
For sure, and just a reminder for those joining us a little bit late at the Sports Park, had a laptop issue with the live stats, so if you go onto the Fever live stats for the game, the stats are a little bit inaccurate. Managed to get about the first 4 minutes of the first quarter inputted over the break. The second quarter stats all on there, so the shooting percentages and stuff you'll see at home and the scores are a little bit off. Renee Bush, unfortunately for her, as much as she would like 21 points on 10 of 12 shooting, that has not happened. But she has got 6 points personal on a couple of threes.
It could happen. You know?
It could happen, and to be fair, we'll go off topic a little bit of WBBL, where we saw a performance in the WNBL earlier this afternoon at the City of London Academy. Molly Lavin went a perfect 11 of 11 from the floor for 23 points personal. The only shot she missed was a free throw. So a massive shout out to her, as it'll be the Nottingham Wildcats to get us underway at half-time. Nottingham having lost both the first and the second quarter. Second quarter was a 19-13 victory for the Suns, as Praise Egbereva gets that little jumper to go over Lavinia De Silva, and we will no doubt see that battle inside continue. De Silva and Egbereva both playing physical, both trying to dominate the offensive glass as well. So nice to see the Portuguese international and the German junior international really playing tough. As Tiani Clark trying to back down Costa, loses the ball, but only because Costa fouled her. Be the second personal foul on Simone Costa. And Sevenoaks really trying to post up a couple of the Wildcats smaller guards and back them down. And we saw a lot of shorter jump shots in that first half for the Suns, as Tiani Clark has to go long on the inbound to the ever-reliable Kat Carr. And Kat Carr in recent games has really dominated the third quarter. Doesn't get a first shot of this third quarter to go. The turnaround just a little bit off to the left. And certainly last time we were here at the Surrey Sports Park, it was the third quarter where Kat Carr dominated. I think it was 18 third quarter points as Shumpert pull up three. Lundqvist there for the offensive rebound. Blocked at the second time of asking. And Wildcats will block out. Good post defense by Renee Bush, something we don't see too often, as Costa fires up an uncontested three. And Tiani Clark able to pull down and rebound with slips. And they're the opportunities Nottingham are really going to need to get back into this game. As Tiani Clark drives, blocked. Well, no, can't be a block because Nottingham ball. So just good defense by Egbereva. And the ball kind of slides out of Tiani Clark's hands and out of bounds.
That previous play with Lundqvist got the offensive rebound. I felt she got fouled on the first one, but a good block on the second one by Renee Bush. But again, brilliant post move. And that's much better, because now they've gone 2 times now inside, and that's how they're going to be able to compete and get back in this game.
Yeah, and Praise Egbereva scoreless at the half, but 4 quick points here. And really starting to be a bit more physical as Garrido Perez cuts back door on Lundqvist and able to lay it home for 2. Kat Carr with the assist.
That's just a smart play there by Garrido Perez, identifying that there was too much help side defense on the denial. Just went back door and a great layup.
And now again, Wildcats trying to establish the post. As Egbereva looks like she changed her pivot foot, but got away with it. And foul is called on the little reach-in by Lavinia De Silva. That'll be her second personal foul, first team foul on the Suns. We didn't see many fouls in that first half. The referees let them play at both ends of the floor. And it'll be Egbereva to inbound the ball. And again, Nottingham trying to throw it in. The pass tipped away by Garrido Perez, and she's unable to save it. In fact, does save it, but to a Wildcats player. Shot clock decided not to reset.
Go up with that.
And Rose with 2 on the shot clock. Not sure Nottingham realised. Mara Lundqvist does. Beats the buzzer. Contested rebound. Simone Costa tried to free it up, but Tiani Clark come away. But as you said, Josh, you got deep position. Surprised when she scores 4 points. She hasn't gone up as Busch fakes on the baseline.
Egbereva had a great post up there, and I'm not sure if she's not too confident in the shot, but she made a great one. I'm not sure why she didn't spin out and go for a simple jump hook off the backboard. Another wasted opportunity there for the Wildcats.
And now Sevenoaks trying to establish in post to Silva, kicks it out to Carr, gets the ball screen. Carr in the lane, trying to go to that turnaround. Well defended by Shania Rose, but even better shot by Kat Carr.
I'm not sure if you saw how they execute the pick and roll there, but Lavinia De Silva set the screen with her back. And it was actually quite smart because even though she didn't get the ball, she was in much better position to roll. Now they got a wide open look for the perimeter. She's got to shoot that. Rose from downtown.
Off to the right, but Shania Rose made the one in first quarter. She's more than capable. And in a fight for the rebound, Tiani Clark able to just knock it off Mara Lundqvist. And another good look that the Wildcats just couldn't convert. And they're kind of struggles from 3 outside of Schumpert this year for Nottingham. They're shooting 19 a game, but the percentage has not been great in certain times. They're down at 28.5% for the season. As Tiani Clark gets into the lane, see if they call it. It looks like they're going to call it on the floor, which I think correct. As Tiani Clark was trying to just back in and get the contact foul, will be called on Praise Egbereva, her first personal. That will, talking of things that will be beneficial, they'll be glad because Praise Egbereva has been in foul trouble a lot for Nottingham this season. And that was certainly a concern when Jasmine Joyner blew her knee out in the WBBL Trophy final, that Egbereva's foul trouble would be a concern, but she's done a good job staying out of it. As the Nottingham bench got a little bit of a warning as Kat Carr gets all the way to the rim, blows by Shania Rose and able to lay it home 4-2. And we'll see if Nottingham can respond. Gap is up to 13 as Chelsea Schumpert looks to come off the stagger screens. Now Lundqvist in the high post. Mo Lundqvist struggled from the floor, drives in between 2 players. Ball tipped out of bounds by Renee Busch, but there, again, you can see Lundqvist struggles, just not confident right now, and then trying to drive in between 2 players when the lane was never there.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. I mean, the movement off the ball right now is a bit difficult for him, but she's got to get a shot off quick. She's only got a few seconds left. Strong move.
Simone Costa on the pump fake, got the open look, and De Silva able to pull down the rebound. And Suns this time trying to look in transition. Really, Nottingham dominated the transition game in the first half. Renee Busch catch and shoot long 2. And Egbereva with the strong rebound. Looked like she got a bit of contact in the back, but referees again happy to let the physical play continue, and Schumpert's going to back it out. It looked good, and we were right behind that. It looked like, I was going to say Chelsea Schumpert for 3, but ball rolled out, and now no one stops the ball in transition. Tiani Clark tried to feed it inside, gets it back. Jumper is no good, and the rebound batted out of bounds, and Sevenoaks will retain possession as both teams go to the bench. So Gaynor in for the Wildcats, Monicana for the Suns.
Go back to the previous fast break play in which they had a wide open look with Renee Busch in the corner. The ball did not touch the floor once in transition for the Suns. And again, that is just patient, beautiful basketball. Every player understands the teammate's strengths.
And we'll see what the Suns can get from the out of bounds. It's a wide open Kat Carr jump shot, and if you want an out of bounds play, a wide open jump shot for your leading scorer is probably high on the list.
It's at 4 points now in the third quarter. Kat Carr, she comes ready to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Carr up to 18 personal. Simone Costa again aggressive, gets all the way to the hoop. And this press just taking the Sevenoaks Suns out of a little bit of rhythm. They want the ball in Kat Carr's hands, and it felt like for a minute no one else wanted to handle it. It's Simone Costa now with a defensive play on the steal, dives on the floor to retain possession, and Schumpert's going to have to back it out. Hesitation, dribble, finds Lundqvist.
What's a foul? She's got a touch there from behind.
Yeah, maybe referee sinks the ball, so possibly a block for Kat Carr, but looked like another strong opportunity for Lundqvist, who's really struggled from the floor this afternoon. And now Kat Carr again with the younger Rose on, and Rose does a good job. And Kat Carr tries to feed the ball inside to the cutting Tiani Clark, this time too much on it. And for the first time this afternoon, Coach KENRICK LIBURD will go to his bench and bring in the youngster Maisie Everson. She's a shooter, so perhaps trying to expand the floor a little bit and give the perimeters a little bit more room to work with by adding another three-point shooter. And we'll see what the Wildcats Academy youngster can do. Simone Costa handling the ball. Finds Shumpert, who again splits the screen. And call for the double dribble. I look again, you can hear the Nottingham Wildcats asking for it. Looked like the ball was tipped as she split the screen, but the turnover is the call, and we've got a veteran referee crew this afternoon, and certainly they
an instant replay on that one, I think.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
And it was Sevenoaks Suns with the ball after getting the stop. Doesn't matter how you get the stops, as long as you get them. And now De Silva up in the post. Looked like she was going to get the post. Simone Costa, hands on again. Simone Costa really active in the passing lane. Now guarded, Kat Carr. Tough fall away on the buzzer for Carr. Competitive rebound, pulled down by Shumpert, and she will go in transition. 3-on-2. Goes to the wrong look. She had Maisie Everson wide open on the left side, but Costa fouled on the fall away jump shot. Foul on Kat Carr, her second. And Simone Costa to the line for 2.
But that was good by Costa. You can see that's 2 times now she's played great defense. One there at the end of the shot clock against Kat Carr. But again, she also got the steal on the previous defensive play. But right now, she has been the big difference so far for the Wildcats in this third quarter. If only Shumpert can start hitting down these perimeter shots. 13 points, not a lot in it. If they can just chip it down now going into the fourth quarter, can definitely make it a game.
And Coach Len Busch going to Katrin Holm in replace of Lavinia De Silva. Suns just with the 7 players checking in so far this afternoon, and he has started to tighten up rotation. He only rotated really 6 in Manchester on Wednesday until the final 4 minutes when he was happy with the blowout. And Nottingham able to make 1 of 2 from the line with Simone Costa. They got this down to 12. As both teams certainly with a little bit more of a defensive presence, as Carr in the post with Costa. Again, trying to go to that step through, but Nottingham guarded it really well. And foul on the back cut. Monicana fouled by Moa Lundqvist. That'll be Lundqvist's third team foul for the Wildcats as well. So Suns will have the baseline ball. Wide open, Garrido Perez off the back screen, blows the layup. Another good look, and Chloe Gaynor forced to put the ball on the deck, and now she's able to find her point guard's hand in Shumpert. Moa Lundqvist looked like she had great position, but Shumpert asked for the ball screen, and Wildcats now trying to reverse the ball. Everson had Gaynor open and decided against it, so finds Shumpert 6 on the shot clock. Isolation, Shumpert and Carr. So Clark and Chelsea Shumpert able to make the tough fall away jump shot, and really the 2 stars of the team making continual bad looks. Carr at one end made a couple of tough jumpers. Now it's time for Shumpert as Kat Carr drives, a little bit of contact. Good defense by Gaynor to stay straight up. Katrin Holm with the offensive rebound, and she will recycle the ball. And now Carr back in the post with Costa. 5 on the shot clock, forced under the hoop, nowhere to go. Moa Lundqvist double team, rather unnecessarily gave Monicana the look. And Nottingham with another stop, and this time maybe a little bit tired. Just slowing the ball up, and Simone Costa trying to get a set up.
Costa's doing a very good job against Kat Carr on defense right now. She's not being too physical. She's just frustrating her.
And a deep 3 by Shumpert will head out of bounds. Maybe both sets of teams are looking a little bit tired right now on the floor. A couple of players certainly breathing a little heavy. And Nottingham just trying to claw their way back into this game. They are winning the third quarter, but they'll perhaps want to get another score or 2 off that gap going into the fourth quarter, as Monicana's free short, and Shumpert is one person who will not slow down. She is double teamed, tries to find the wraparound pass, and Garrido Perez able to get into the passing lane. And Nottingham get 4 back in transition. And Suns unable to find the open Tiani Clark on the right wing, and now Kat Carr with the ball screen. Wildcats able to get back, forces to pick up the dribble. Kat Carr with nothing to do, finds Tiani Clark. Close defense by Shumpert. She loses her footing, and Tiani Clark able to make a pay with a tough jump shot. But right now the Suns offense is really struggling on, and Nottingham's defense has certainly picked up the intensity.
Again, it just goes back to the defense from the Wildcats. Of course, Costa's doing a very good job. You know, Shumpert, one thing, she had good position there against Tiani Clark, but it was just the reach down low that caused the problems. And finally, Lundqvist gets a shot to go, and she's been getting some good looks. Just hasn't been able to knock him down, but there you can see that time, use the backboard.
Yeah, Moa Lundqvist up to 4 points personally. She's had some good looks. The Swede averaging 12 games. Holmes going to drive on Gaynor, find the open Tiani Clark. She thought about the three, but couldn't get the angle to blow by Schumpert. And Garrido Perez now cutting in. Finds Holmes, short court, sorry, on the elbow, again kicks it out. Tiani Clark forced to take the long two. Long rebound, Simone Costa pulls it down, and Holmes called for the little bump. The way this game's been going, there's not a lot of contact for that to be called a foul, but the referee decided below on that occasion. Sevenoaks' 4th team foul, so not quite shooting yet for the Wildcats. And now we see Len Bush go deep into rotation. Kat Carr and Garrido Perez both taking a break.
Interest now, 1:10 to go. Can the Wildcats get it to single digits going into the 4th quarter? That will be key for them if they can finish this last minute and 5 seconds very strong.
Yeah, and it looks like Len Bush brought in Egreva because, De Silva, because Egreva back into game. It's the matchup he's wanted as contact. De Silva hand on top of the ball. So good defense by De Silva off the bench. Suns get the stop, but the offense has really been the issue this quarter. They only need 10 points. Home, top of the key, decides to swing the ball. Tiani Clark, again, Nottingham packing the paint, really forcing Sevenoaks with nowhere to go. Ball not loose. Clark able to retain possession, and a jump ball call between Gaynor and Clark. And Suns will keep possession. And Sevenoaks will have 5 seconds to work with on the sideline out of bounds. And Nottingham, the advantage of the jump ball. Advantage jump ball means Wildcats will probably get possession to start the 4th quarter, so a stop and a score will probably be what they're looking for here to get that single-digit game that you alluded to, Josh, and we'll see if they can get it. Rennie Bush, middle of the lane, pull up, a lot of contact. Gaynor, defensive rebound, and Wildcats have a chance to run if they want, and Gaynor will hand it back to Schumpert, and a 4.5-second shot clock, game clock differential, as Egreva given the left hand on the baseline. Now double team, turn around back to that left. Not given, and really, if you're going to go left, you go left first rather than second.
Well, someone's got to go for an offensive rebound at that point because you've got one person under the basket taking that shot, but now Monicana, last few seconds, goes in.
Goes through the chest of Costa, and a foul on the rebound, and that is Sevenoaks in the penalty. And is that a T as well? I heard a whistle. So the foul on Monicana, and oh, correction, the team, so the foul 4 was the 3rd. They put it on the scoreboard so quickly. We're just going to check.
Shumpert's got 2 seconds left.
Yeah,
We've also got Costa wide open here. I can call timeout right now. Do you want to sum it up?
I think you want to say, but so the scoreboard was so quick in updating. It was the 3rd foul, not the 4th. I'm going to see if they're going to go long. Just throw it up, and De Silva from half court off to the left, and really, Wildcats just trying to manufacture something and try and get a 15-foot jumper instead of a half-court shots. Maybe the option. You can risk the turnover at that point, but really low-scoring quarter there in the 3rd. Nottingham winning it 11-10, and really Nottingham's defense has changed, and I think the big change is how collapsed they are, and really it's cut off a lot of what Sevenoaks want to do.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, the defensive matchup that Costa's had on Kat Carr has made a big difference. Again, it's not about physicality. It's not about playing a very tough or trying to, beat a... Our stream has gone a bit dead right now, of course.
No, it's just my laptop on the actual stream.
Excuse me, sorry.
Carry on.
Excuse me, everybody. No, sorry, I was looking at Mikey's computer. I thought the stream had gone dead. But no, going back to what I said, the defensive matchup with Costa against Kat Carr is actually working very well for Nottingham Wildcats because they're taking her out of the game temporarily. The thing they're struggling right now is getting good shots on offense. They need to keep going down low, but more importantly, what they haven't done so much in the 3rd quarter, which they did at the beginning of the game, was going for more offensive rebounds, get those second chance points. That's another way you can get back into this. 10 points, nothing in it, but knowing the team Sevenoaks Suns are, they play for the right shot, they play basketball the right style, they play Len Bush's style. It's the difference between a good team and a great team. A 10-point lead for a team like that, it's a mountain to climb.
It is, but if Nottingham can hold Sevenoaks to another 10 points and limit them to 62, you feel like Nottingham might be able to string enough offense together if they can make some of their looks that they've had and just not converted on to certainly give themselves a chance going into the last couple of minutes. Of course, Sevenoaks will be in action again tomorrow against the Essex Rebels, and then we'll be set for Wednesday afternoon. And I know the tip time's not ideal. It's 2:30 on a Wednesday afternoon, but if you can make time at home, make some time to watch this game. Sevenoaks Suns, Leicester Riders. These teams have got to play twice in the remaining 2 weeks of the season. Sevenoaks, 0 losses. Leicester Riders, 1 loss. And you can't call it a title decider because they've got to play again. But Sevenoaks will certainly look to try and stake a big claim towards the title by beating Leicester. And
it's about making time, right? I'm teaching badminton at that time, so I don't know if I can make time. But yes, if you can, 2:30 on Wednesday, make the time. That is the big matchup. I'll see if I can sneak out of badminton if my boss doesn't catch me.
And ironically, Josh, do you know when the Sevenoaks Suns lost a home game?
Can I guess what year? 1975.
Not quite that good. It was February 2018, so it's been
close.
3 years at home undefeated.
I was close.
The team to beat them on the home court, the Leicester Riders.
Zania Stewart will be back. She will be in the house along with Ella Clark. Riders will be coming in here with a point to prove because they know they want to end the undefeated route here that these Sevenoaks Suns have had this season.
And really, probably for Leicester, they might be looking, and if Sevenoaks don't lose to Essex, the last game's Caledonia, so really Leicester might have to win both as Egbereva driving round to Silva and a tough move, and the German youngsters really started to heat up. She had the 2 early baskets in the 3rd quarter, now a strong post move in the 4th. And De Silva playing on 2 fouls. Nottingham Sevenoaks will want her in the game probably for the entire 4th quarter, so she's going to have to be careful as Monicana comes off the screen. Nowhere to go. Nottingham again having looks, and jump ball called as Schumpert got her hands with Renee Bush. And the right
That's blue ball.
Possession, and it should be Sevenoaks ball.
That's blue ball.
It should be because Nottingham had possession to start the 4th quarter, but the referee's fallen asleep and the table arrow forgot to turn the arrow, and Sevenoaks, Nottingham steal a possession.
That should be Sevenoaks possession.
Len Bush just getting a tech, in fact. It's the first time I've seen Len Bush teched. Good Lord. I've not seen that very often. Len Bush
Len
making
Bush
that
has
push.
Len Bush has every right to be disappointed. There was a jump ball situation in the 3rd quarter. The arrow flipped because remember, with 5 seconds left in the shot clock, they've got to sort this out.
Yeah, and you see Katrin Holm trying to check it with Ian Atkins. And to be honest, we've got it right. I believe Nottingham had first possession of the 4th quarter.
They did have first possession, unless there's some rule that we've not looked up. But to my understanding is that when the arrow was switched, that was what gave Nottingham possession at the beginning of the 4th quarter. So Len Bush has every right to be disappointed.
But to be fair, the other counteract to that was there was 2 or 3 seconds left on the shot clock, so Sevenoaks probably wouldn't have got a good look. But you clearly can't cross the line with your demonstrations with the referee. Even if the call is wrong, you can't cross that line. Len Bush doesn't often do it. This time he does. Gives the technical foul away, and Chelsea Schumpert able to make him pay, and the gap is down to 7. Wildcats ball, 17 on the shot clock, so lots of time to work. And Schumpert now waiting for the ball screen with Lundqvist. Kat Holm out on the hard hedge, and Schumpert's going to pull up deep 3. Basket good, and it looks like foul underneath on Renee Bush. So that'll be basket good. Nottingham ball from the end line, and we're talking potentially a 7-point possession.
Well, I think it was a foul off the ball. I didn't see the foul there, of course. But again, going to our officials. Look, we've got 2 very good officials right now. They're very, very good officials. But I need to go back and look at the rule book because to my understanding, I thought that jump ball situation should have been Sevenoaks possession. So that's why I'm on Coach Len Bush's side for why he should be disappointed.
Yep, and Lundqvist, offensive foul.
Yep.
She extended her arm out and caught Katrin Holm in the face. So Sevenoaks limit the damage to a 4-point possession. I would have had to have gone through the history books to find a 7-point possession. Josh, I'm glad we're not scrambling for that one. That would have been a call to Dan Routledge.
That's what I was about to say, that you called Dan Routledge for that one.
But we said Nottingham wanted to try and cut this down at the end of the 3rd. They didn't manage to get it into single digits, but a strong start to the 4th has got this to 4 and see if they can string another stop together as Renee Bush trying to spin. Ball not loose by Lundqvist, but the foul from behind on Shania Rose for a little reaching, so Lundqvist knocked the ball away. Good defense by her on the help, but Shania Rose called for the bump, her 2nd personal, 2nd team foul. And it'll be Tiani Clark to trigger the inbound.
Wide open.
But She was wide open, half a second too late. Tiani Clark, 5-second violation. Good defense by the Wildcats, and you could see Sevenoaks trying to find option wasn't there. They got one, but unfortunately just a little too late for Renee Bush, and Nottingham get yet another stop.
Well, this is a good test now for Sevenoaks. Do you think the last few games they've been winning very easily? Right now they're being tested by a team with a bit more energy here in the fourth quarter.
And Shania Rose decided against the free. First time now, the second time she had a good look, finds Lundqvist underneath. She's going to go up. Good defense by De Silva to make it tough, and Mer Lundqvist having a really tough afternoon from the floor. Can't get it to go. But really, Shania Rose, you would expect to take that triple on the left wing. Initially, she was wide open. And Renee Bush, not someone that will not take a free. This time, long defensive rebound, Moa Lundqvist. And Chelsea Shumpert out in transition, cuts across the lane. Egbereva trying to find it, but Shumpert, another long free, this time short. And Sevenoaks Suns get the stop, and Maisie Everson will check in for Shania Rose.
Shumpert's a fantastic player, but at that situation, slow it down, get a better shot than that. We know she can shoot the ball very well. She's probably one of the best players in the WBBL. Down by 4, 8 minutes to go. They can definitely get a better look than that one, I think.
Yeah, and Coach Len Bush also going to the bench. Renee Bush and Katrin Holm out. And back in Garrido Perez and Kat Carr. So the 3 minutes Kat Carr sat. Huge Nottingham run. And Len Bush, no doubt, trying to manage minutes just a little bit with the doubleheader tomorrow as Monicana cuts back door, caught under the rim, reverse layup, good. And Janice Monicana with some much needed Sevenoaks Suns points. That was a 6-0 Wildcats run to start the fourth quarter. As Everson now to Costa, she's going to get into the lane, lot of contact, layup in and out. Lundqvist able to keep it alive, finds Egbereva. Costa wide open and knocks down the triple, Simone Costa. And we have a one-possession game, 7 minutes to go.
Well, I was a bit disappointed that Lundqvist didn't go up for the offensive rebound, because I said you got to go for those second chance points. But now you look, what is it, 3 3-pointers here in the fourth quarter for the Wildcats?
Quite possibly. Shumpert had the one. Yeah, I think it is, certainly 2. But either way, it's the Nottingham bench looking for an illegal screen that looked like it was there, moving screen. But Sevenoaks get away with that one and make them pay triple for Kat Carr. And she's up to 21 points personal, and Nottingham cannot get the stop. They much needed as Egbereva wide open, but as is Shumpert, her free off and up to the right. Lundqvist flying in for the rebound. And Monicana just about able to get enough body on it, but the referee's really letting this game be physical on the glass as Monicana finds a cutting to Silva, and she is fouled by Egbereva down low. And it'll be an end-line ball.
Another third team foul for the Wildcats, so 2 more. They'll be putting Sevenoaks to the free throw line. But again, big play there on the previous one by Kat Carr to step up and hit the three-pointer. But Monicana again with a nice little flash in the low block as well before that one. Going to low post players worked very well for the Sevenoaks Suns.
And now Kat Carr isolated on the sort of the wing, now trying to get into the middle, and a bump on the floor. That'll be on 24. Simone Costa, her third, team's fourth. So Sevenoaks will have opportunity to live at the line down the stretch, but that will come after the ball is inbounded.
Nottingham cannot afford to get into the penalty and for the lead to get any big, because if you start chasing the game and any foul you do sends them to the free throw line. Monicana from downtown.
And a big shot, Janice Monicana. We talked in the first half about her presence from the free, able to knock down the triple. She's up to 12 points personal. Lead back up to 9, and a quick 6-0 run by the Sevenoaks Suns really stunted this momentum as Shumpert's going to reject the ball screen. Gets some contact, Egbereva flying in for the rebound, can't get it to go. Kat Carr holding her face, and we will get a stoppage in play. But again, Praise Egbereva flying in for the board and perhaps just rushed the shot just a little bit too much. She had a little bit more time down there, and they're the points that really matter down the stretch. Nottingham trying to complete this comeback.
We're getting a lot of offensive rebounds, but haven't been able to capitalize and put those rebounds back, of course. And again, it's a tough one because every point matters right now. And another problem they have is one more foul. Sevenoaks will be going to the free throw line.
And it looked like Nottingham were going to deny a little bit, but Costa just a little bit behind Carr. But this matchup's certainly been a big one down the stretch. Costa's done a pretty good job. But she picked up a 4th personal foul.
15 foul, 4th personal foul. Now Sevenoaks will be going to the free throw line every time for the next 5:41.
Yeah, and the big worry is Simone Costa's 4th personal foul, so she's got to tread the line. And you can just see KENRICK LIBURD there talking with his players. looking like he's going to switch the matchup. Put Shania Rose on Kat Carr down the stretch.
That situation there where Costa was picking up Kat Carr just here in the backcourt, she just took her eye off Kat Carr to try and move ahead and beat the spot. Carr identified that, crossed over, and that is what you cannot do. You cannot defend someone and take your eye off them. You have to keep them in front of you and know where they're going.
And now Sevenoaks 8-0 run to respond to the Wildcats 8-0 run over the quarter breaks. And this lead back into double digits, 5.5 minutes to go. And do the Nottingham Wildcats have anything left, as Lundqvist tried to find Shumpert, who was open on the back door, but Sevenoaks able to get their hands in the passing lane, and they're going to look to push in transition. Carr to De Silva, as now Kat Carr wide open underneath. KENRICK LIBURD trying to call a timeout, but pointing to the table. Not going to get you a timeout. You've got to signal timeout. I could be pointing to anything, and Chelsea Shumpert says, "Don't worry, coach, I got you."
That's big time, that is. That keeps him in the game with under 5 minutes to go. And again, she's got a lot of confidence. She can hit those. And right now, she's just keeping them within distance.
Yeah, Shumpert up to 20 points personal as Garrido Perez tries to answer and gets the three, and now now we get the timeout. And Sevenoaks with some big threes down the stretch. Nottingham got it to 3, but 3 triples in a short spell has got this lead back out to 13.
Señorita Garrido for the 3 puntos from downtown. I mean, that just makes the deficit even bigger, of course. But again, that's just the depth that the Sevenoaks Suns have. They do have a very, very good perimeter shooting team. You got Kat Carr, you've got Renee Bush, Tiani Clark as well. You know, I said she shoots from the mid-range. She also can step out and shoot the perimeter. Not to mention Monacan as well. She's also a good perimeter shooter. I mean, they have got a lot of options that can spread any defense.
Indeed, and that's got them into this 13-point lead, and you really thought Nottingham were making that comeback, got it to 3, but the one thing, as you alluded to in the third quarter break, this Sevenoaks team has got veteran experience and they know how to win, and you're starting to see that in the last couple of minutes.
Nothing with the Wildcats is, you know, I mean, they've got a good team. There's no doubt. We've said that time and time in this game, but one thing that I think has dropped their confidence in this game is going after those offensive rebounds, which should be second chance points. They haven't capitalized on that. They've been getting offensive rebounds and haven't been able to put them back, and that can really lower your confidence. 4:47 to go. It's not over. But right now, Chelsea Shumpert's going to have to keep lining it up from the perimeter, as well as Costa, to keep them back in this game.
And you talk about not converting offensive rebounds. That's been the adjustment for the Wildcats. Missing, of course, Jasmine Joyner. As you can see, she's on the bench there talking with assistant coach Karen Burton, and certainly that's when you take out potential MVP candidate from the team, it's gonna change some things. And Nottingham, to be fair, have done a decent job of trying to convert. And apologies, we do have a slight issue with the score underneath. Just a couple of little technical faults with the stream. It is Sevenoaks 67, Nottingham 54. And it'll be Nottingham to try and answer coming out of the timeout. Looks like Shumpert off a double screen. And now trying to set something up for Egbereva in the post. He's had a much better second half. They can't get it there. And now the ball's in with the hands of Shania Rose. 7 on the shot clock. Lundqvist in the high post, kicks it to Rose. She fakes the 3, tries to sidestep, blocked by Kat Carr. And Sevenoaks get the stop. They really trying to, really very strung together down the stretch, but Simone Costa in the passing lane. Simone Costa's done a great job on the defensive end as well this afternoon. She's got to have 5 or 6 steals. And Shumpert trying to fire her team back in it, makes another. Chelsea Shumpert, 23 points personal.
That's tough. That's a tough shot. Chelsea Shumpert is the answer.
And it looked like Tiani Clark had the ball out of bounds, dropped it, but the problem was the ball dropped into the court. And that is a violation. So Nottingham get the turnover and have a chance to cut this down to single digits. Egbereva trying to free herself up after the screen for Lundqvist. She's going to get doubled by Kat Carr. Shania Rose is the player open. She decides initially against the jump shot, puts it on the floor. Lundqvist offensive rebound. Again, can't get it to go. And Sevenoaks nearly threw it away, but Nottingham just not converting on the second chance opportunities. And Lavinia De Silva able to lay it home 4-2 in transition.
Again, patient build up there, of course. Kat Carr can run down the middle. You can see there, Costa didn't want to pick up her 5th foul, so she did have to not commit herself, or Shumpert if she makes that. That was deep, of course, but she's got the confidence and the ability to make that shot. 3:25 to go, down by 12.
And Tiani Clark driving straight into Praise Egbereva. You're not going to move her. And that is another turnover, not even getting a stop, but Problem is they need to make shots on the other end, and when you've got someone that's turning down wide open jump shots, it just puts a little doubt in your mind. And Shania Rose, we saw her make the other, and Coach Karen Burton there, just trying to give her some encouragement on the sideline. We've seen her knock some shots down, Shania Rose, over the course of the season. And we'll just get the floor.
One thing I want to note in this game, of course, is Lavinia De Silva is a world-class post defender. Because Egbareva's had a very, very tough game. You can see every time she's defending off the ball, she's between two players, she sees balls, she sees who she's defending. And Egbareva's a very good post player as well, but Lavinia De Silva, for me, has to be one of the best post-defensive players here in the WBBL.
Yeah, the Portuguese international has been a big pickup for this Suns team. She's averaging 10.7 rebounds a game, and as you said, she's done a lot of work down low, especially with the absence of Julia Koppel for the Suns, who they lost at the Christmas break, as Lundqvist wide open from the foul line, just a little bit off, but Lundqvist able to track it down.
Shumpert time.
And Shumpert now asking for the screen. Egbareva rolling to the rim. Shumpert able to get into lane, goes with the floater again off. Contested rebound, and Praise Egbareva tips it out of bounds. And Coach KENRICK LIBURD asking for the offensive rebounds. And this stat, we know the stats aren't fully right. We know we're missing 6 minutes of stats. Merlund with 8 offensive rebounds. Wow. So she might pull down as many as 10, depending on how the game ends and what is added to the first 6 minutes of the score on the stats. Nottingham have 12 offensive as a team, so that'll probably go up a little because they had some early in the game. As De Silva from 15 foot can't get it to go. Monicana pulls down the rebound away from Lundqvist and lays it home for 2. And Janice Monicana with some big plays down the stretch.
That's just wanting to win, that is. Going for the offensive rebound, fighting for the ball. 2 points awarded.
And now Costa looking for the screen. Simone Costa's been quiet in the down the stretch.
Good move.
And she's able to get the pull-up to go. The gap down to 12, but Nottingham need to string together some stops and maybe probably force some steals if they want to get back into this game in the final 2 minutes. As Carr rejects the screen, Praise Egbareva screens Shania Rose, unfortunately for Shania Rose. And with the clock stopped, Coach KENRICK LIBURD will use that timeout as the side trailing by 14 with 1 minute and 52 to go.
That's a hesitation move there from Kat Carr. You can see she was able to confuse 2 defenders and to screen each other, but she went left, hesitated, thought she was going to go back right, and completely fooled the entire defense. Great move. Difference between a good player and a great player. MVP caliber, Kat Carr.
For sure, and she's up to 27 points personal. And
surprised?
Yeah, because it's normally 20, 10 assists and 10 rebounds.
I used to finish a day of teaching back at TASS, and I'd walk in the gym at sometimes 7 o'clock at night, just see Kat Carr, Tiani Clark, Renee Bush just getting shots up. They would be in the gym for hours. I mean, this is what they do. It's what they love, and that is simply why they're the best here in the WBBL. Well, shout out to the Leicester Riders and Azania Stewart and to Ella Clark. They're also the best too, so everyone's the best in my opinion.
And Kumash Patel in the chat, Kat Carr MVP, and if certainly if Sevenoaks go undefeated, you're going to struggle not to give it to the best player on the team that's gone undefeated over the season. And obviously there'll be some competition from the likes of Kennedy Leonard for that award as well.
Kumash Patel has just questioned me. Carr MVP. Look, Krumesh, you've got some fantastic... Look, Krumesh, you and I played against each other twice. Under 14 Cosford Final Fours, Leicester Cannons versus Tasses. And we played each other in a quarterfinal game, I think. Can't remember some teammates he had I was good friends with. But no, Krumesh, fantastic basketball coach, doing very... I think he's in Sweden right now.
Yeah, he is coaching of the Wittenbergen Sparks. And actually, while we're on the Wildcat, a nice theme. Ashley Harris, a former WBBL MVP for the Nottingham Wildcats, is the latest addition to Krumesh's roster for next year. So Ashley Harris making a return to the game after
that's fantastic.
having her kid a couple of years ago. And obviously I was lucky enough to coach Ashley Carr. And we'll see what happens. Maisie Everson wide open on the left corner. And instead Nottingham try and feed the post, don't see the open player, and Sun's able to get the stop, and that will probably be that for this afternoon. Obviously, we'll play the final 2 minutes out, but Nottingham really probably had to score on every possession to have a chance. As Garida Perez is going to run the clock down, get the ball screen from De Silva. Now, and the ball in the hands of Kat Carr. Her three is up a little long. Contested rebound pulled in by Egbareva, and she finds Shumpert, and she will go in transition. Head to Costa. Everson wide open yet again in the corner, and Wildcats unable to find their youngster in the corner as Shumpert again. Really no option but to try and make some threes, this time a little short, and this game will beat us out. apparently you beat him twice, and pretty much back in the comments, he beat us twice.
No.
Nightmares of it.
Can we replace you beat us twice with Andrew Lawrence beat you twice? Okay, I was just that guy. I might have started in one of those games and just stood in the corner. But no, Krumesh Patel, honestly, it's great to see you coaching out in Sweden. You've done great things and have great representation of British basketball in the coaching field.
And that'll be the 5th personal foul on Simone Costa. Little 2 hands on Irene Garrido-Perez. And with the game tomorrow, Janice Monacana, the first Sevenoaks player to check out Millie Stevens, will be seeing her first court time of the game, as Garrido-Perez can't get the first to go. And give her a chance to have a quick recap of the other scores in the WBBL this afternoon. The early games, Caledonia Pride 73, Cardiff Met Archers 68. Big win for the Pride up against their Welsh counterparts. And timeout.
Oh, Lions are beating Mystics right now as well.
And we'll get to that in a second. Leicester Riders 71, Essex Rebels 42. The Essex Rebels slide continues. About 7 straight losses for the Rebels. They have picked up the win over the Caledonia Pride, with Pride unable to find a time and a suitable way of travelling down to Essex for the game. So they forfeited that game. So Essex pick up a win, but 7 losses on the court for the Rebels. And the London Lions lead the Manchester Met Mystics 62-48. 2 minutes left of the third quarter. So head over to the Barking Abbey YouTube page after we are done here at the Surrey Sports Park and catch the 4th quarter of action there. No, so make sure you stay here and we'll get reaction from LIBURD and KENRICK LIBURD after the game.
2 minutes and 5 seconds. Well, sorry, 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Make sure you don't swap over yet.
Yeah,
of course.
and really the story of that game, it was a 2-point game at half. No, I can't even do maths. It was a 1-point lead for the Mystics at half time. But London Lions with that veteran group, 63-48, 23-7 third quarter, really started to pull away. Cassie Breen, 18 points for the Lions. And hello, we may have another record on our hands. Kennedy Leonard, 15 assists already, and we're still in the third quarter. So there is your other potential, probably other MVP. I think right now the race will be between Kat Carr and Kennedy Leonard as the season goes down the stretch. Obviously, Sevenoaks beating the London Lions twice in the regular season. And it'll be Chelsea Shumpert to inbound the ball. Egberiva called. Egberiva get the ball in the post. Hayley Miller, who checked in for De Silva in the timeout, immediately put 2 hands on Praise Egberiva. And we all know 2 hands equals 1 whistle and 1 personal foul.
Quick to identify that and also acknowledge the fact it was the same call down the other end. But
yeah,
1 minute to go. Well, there's the
as
first
Everson wide open in the corner. The one she wasn't given, the Nottingham Wildcats bench wanted to give her. You're going to back off a shooter. She's going to make you pay. And Maisie Everson, one of the Wildcats youngsters, able to knock down the triple, get this down to a 12-point game. And again, at this stage in the season, it's important that you can get some of these players some confidence, as Hayley Miller is able to knock down the long 2, but get some of your rotation players some confidence, because you're going to need them at some point down the stretch. You're in the playoffs, and everyone's got a chance to earn some minutes. And if Maisie Everson can knock down some threes, Hayley Miller can make some plays, they're going to potentially earn some minutes. As Shumpert, tough. Step back 2, can't go. Good defense by Tiani Clark. And Sevenoaks will no doubt use some of the shot clock, 8-second shot clock, game clock differential here for the Sevenoaks Suns, who will move to 16-0. Nottingham Wildcats go back into the race for the 4th seed, as they will drop to 8-8 as Carr's pull-up jumper can't get it to go. So Kat Carr will end the game with 27 points. Chelsea Shumpert will try and match, or nearly match it, her 3 off. And that will do it from the Surrey Sports Park. Sevenoaks Suns 76, Nottingham Wildcats 62.
Oh, great finish, obviously. I mean, look, one team that was coming in here trying to play a very transition style of basketball against one of the, the only undefeated team here in the WBBL. Final score, of course, now 76-62. But again, I'm not surprised to see the game that Kat Carr had. You know to expect that in Kat Carr. She might go through periods of the game where she's struggling to find a shot, but eventually she's going to find that rhythm and she's going to take over the game. Yes, I've said it, MVP caliber. Well, there's the brother of Mr. Tom Bonnet. How you doing, man? You all right? Good to see you. Who has now left Surrey Scorchers. He's on his way to Southampton Football Club. I think a bit of an annoying thing for his brother. His brother's a big Portsmouth Football Club fan, so there's going to be problems in the household after that. But no, obviously, great basketball game. Be interested to see what the coaches' reactions are after this game, because I think for Len Bush, it's been very standard. They were tested at some point in the 4th quarter when the lead was cut down back to 4 points, but, you know, Nottingham really did struggle to sort of go on and equalise the game and sort of challenge it from that point on. You know, it was very much forcing a lot from the perimeter, not being able to find any fluidity in their offense, and again, something they'll have to look to change going into the playoffs, of course. I mean, they're going to match up probably with Essex, I imagine, depending how the final standings go off, of course.
Yeah, Essex, Nottingham and the Manchester Mystics in a race for 4, 5 and 6, and probably the referential is to get into that 4-5 game and avoid one of the top 3 in the first round. But certainly there's going to be some positives to take away from Nottingham. You see, you're talking about the coach reactions. If Nottingham finish 4-5, they will perhaps meet the Suns in a playoff semi-final. So I'm sure there'll be some adjustments from both coaches, and it'll be interesting to get those thoughts as both teams just finish the huddle. And Josh, just talk about the performance of Kat Carr yet again, and we talked about it, but obviously as an MVP, but she really took over again in the second half, and she's really carried this Suns not just today but through the stretch.
She's got a great team around her as well. And I think, you know, when you talk about a great player like Kat Carr, you know, one player can't win you a game, obviously. And I think the thing is, when you've got teammates such as Renee Bush, you've got Tierney Clark, Lavinia De Silva, Janice Monacana, not to mention Garrido Perez, her job is made very easy. And that's why she's such a fantastic player, because she's got a great team. She's got a fantastic coach. Nottingham Wildcats as well. I think there's some great players on this team. You know, with the likes of Schumpert, along with Costa, they're very well coached, and basketball does have a very rich tradition with this Wildcats franchise that they've had for a very, very long time. But again, for them, it's about trying to match up with these better teams. I don't think they're too far away with being able to beat teams such as this caliber, such as the Lions, such as the Riders, and of course such as the Sevenoaks Suns. But just maybe different approach to their style of play. Could see them improve a little bit. And the coaches will be heading over shortly, and we'll have some coach reactions. There are some highlights from the game.
Now joined post-game by Nottingham Wildcats head coach KENRICK LIBURD. KENRICK, just your initial thoughts on the game. Obviously down at half-time, got it back to within 3, and then Sevenoaks just pulled away down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk a lot about putting ourselves in a position to win. You know, up 10, down 10 late in the game, and we feel like we've done that again against the best team in the league. You know, we think that, you know, we lost Tia last night, you know, at the end of a practice session. That's a starter that's kind of established herself. You know, we feel like the way we fought back was very, very good. You know, we used the clock pretty well. We got the ball inside touches. We did a good job defensively for the most part. But, you know, then we had lapses in concentration. Against the best teams, when you have lapses in concentration, that's what happens, right? And how many layups did we leave on the board? You know, again, it's another story of missed layups, missed opportunities.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that. First half, you struggled offensively, but how happy were you with the looks you were generating in the first half? Even the short mid-range jump shots that you know your roster can normally make, just not dropping this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, I was happy with some of the looks we got. I was happy that, you know, we were able to get some good shots. We were able to get downhill a little bit more on the screen. The hedge didn't bother us, which again, the last time we played them, the hedge bothered us a little bit more. We forced them to double another player in the post, which creates space for other people. I mean, all of those things were good. I mean, but you give up 17 points in the first 5 minutes, you've got to be disappointed with 40 points at half, right? You know me, I'm always going to talk about some defense.
Yeah, now obviously turnaround on Wednesday. Wednesday you go on the road to Cardiff as you try and push to finish 4th overall. What's the biggest takeaway from you that you want to work on going into Wednesday's game?
We just got to keep getting better. We got to keep getting comfortable in the offense with the group that we have. We got to make sure the people that come in the game, some of the younger kids that are coming in, are ready. We got to make sure that defensively we know what we're doing and we're switched on at all times and we don't have the lapses in concentration. And we've got to figure out, how do we take another step forward? I don't think today was a step backwards. The Leicester game a week ago was a step backwards. I don't think today was a step backwards going from that game to Oakland's and then to this game. Look, they're a good team and we're in the right direction. So we want to be as good as we can be come playoff time.
Well, KENRICK, thank you very much for your time, and we'll get the reaction. We'll pull Len over and we'll get some reaction from Len Bush as well. Just give us 1 minute.
Appreciate you.
Now joined by Sevenoaks Suns head coach Len Bush. Len, another win, another different type of performance from your team. Ground it out in the 3rd quarter and then managed to find the offensive rhythm once again in the 4th. But what went wrong in the 3rd offensively for you that kind of allowed Nottingham to make the run to get back in the game?
I think maybe we got a little bit obsessed with picking on a couple of matchups and trying to force the ball inside when everybody could see what we were trying to do. I think we persisted with it a little bit too long. We started to move the ball a bit after that, and good things started to happen. And then you end up with the same matchup, but you're just not obsessed trying to go at it. So we got back to our own game.
And you must be pleased with the interior defence tonight. Obviously, you had some problems against Nottingham a couple of weeks ago inside, but Lavinia De Silva, Janice, when she was in, did a really good job of trying to slow the Wildcats' bigs down tonight.
Yeah, we did an okay job. We figured out, we tried to figure out where we could help from. When we could double, and we got a little bit better at it as the game went on. So we'll have a look at it. We could very well see them again in the playoffs, so we'll need to do it again.
And now, obviously, a short turnaround back to Essex tomorrow. What's your biggest takeaway from today to just the things you want to try and keep improving on ahead of the Leicester game on Wednesday?
Well, it's probably our, defensive intensity and the adjustments that we manage to make within the game as the game goes on. We sort of figure things out. So, and we score points. Wednesday's another day. Today's done. I'm going to focus on Essex tomorrow, and then I'll start thinking more about Leicester.
Well, that game here at the Surrey Sports Park, Wednesday, 2:30. Sevenoaks Suns, Leicester Riders, but of course Sevenoaks will want to make sure they carry on the winning streak tomorrow at Essex. And that will conclude our coverage here from Surrey Sports Park, and thank you very much for joining us.